Can you believe this death row inmate actually used Morse code in the courtroom to pass information to his partner? And after his successful prison break, he went on to steal priceless jewels. Not long ago, Derek had escaped execution using his mastery of disguise. When Detective Jimmy discovered the truth, he chose to keep it under wraps, publicly announcing that the criminal had been beheaded. Meanwhile, he quietly set a plan in motion to capture Derek. Unaware that he had been exposed, Derek waltzed into the office wearing the secretary's face, opened the safe, and retrieved the key to the bank vault. Just as he was about to leave, the chief called the secretary and revealed the truth, instructing her to act like nothing was wrong and stall Derek. Unfortunately, Derek overheard everything. Realizing his cover was blown, he slipped out the back door, narrowly missing the officers rushing in to arrest him. He jumped into a getaway sports car and tore off the secretary's mask. That identity was now useless, and the hard-won key had to be tossed. But as for how to get his hands on the secretary's hidden fortune, he already had a brilliant plan. Early the next morning, Amy pulled up to the bank in a luxury car. She was now wearing a different face, disguised as a wealthy socialite. On the surface, she was there to store a world-famous painting, but her real goal was to scout the bank's security weaknesses. The bank manager, Annie, was a straightforward woman. Eager to prove how secure her bank was, she explained the entire layout of the vault. Amy mentally noted every detail. Annie also mentioned that the wire mesh between the outer wall and the vault should never be touched. Any contact would trigger an alarm, and the police would arrive within 5 minutes. She then handed Amy a key, explaining that only when both keys were inserted and turned simultaneously could the safe be opened. What Annie didn't know was that Amy wasn't storing a masterpiece. She was depositing 2 laser cutters, cleverly disguised. With her mission complete, Amy returned to the apartment. The next phase was up to Derek. At 5 o'clock, after the bank closed and the lights went out, he activated the laser cutters right on schedule. The 2 beams fired, completely melting through the steel plates, then shut off precisely 6 minutes and 6 seconds later. Derek then entered the sewer through a manhole near the bank, following the pipes until he was directly beneath the vault. He pulled out a specially designed drill and bored through the solid wall. After removing the thick concrete, he carefully threaded a thin probe through the wire mesh and dripped a few drops of sulfuric acid, dissolving the lock on the safe door. Next, he opened the drainage pipe behind him. Water came gushing out, and he quickly put on his diving gear. As the water rose to the level of the wire mesh, the alarm went off. The security guard rushed to check the monitors and saw the vault flooding. Assuming it was a burst pipe, he turned off the alarm and called the manager. Everything was going exactly as Derek had planned. He had sabotaged the route Annie would normally take, forcing her to take a detour. Only the manager had the vault key. Without her, no one else could do a thing. As the water level continued to rise, the fuses blew, knocking out all the surveillance equipment. Derek seized the moment, strapped on his breathing apparatus, and swam into the vault. He easily opened the secretary's safe and grabbed the priceless jewels inside. But when he tried to leave, he found the place surrounded by police. Jimmy had seen through everything. He had quickly mobilized his forces to the bank, even stationing officers at every sewer entrance. Derek had calculated every detail, but he hadn't anticipated how fast Jimmy would move. Luckily, Amy spotted the ambush just in time. She took down the guards with throwing needles, buying Derek precious seconds to escape. He bolted from the bank, but Jimmy was hot on his heels, and a bullet struck him in the shoulder.